Today we have another story regarding layoffs, and this one is coming out of the chip making sector. It doesn't matter where we look in the markets today, we are seeing news regarding companies cutting jobs left, right and centre. This one's coming from late February, but I still wanted to bring it to you guys so that you could be as aware of everything as possible. And it's coming out of a company known as ONSEMI, who is about to axe 2,400 jobs as there is weakening chip demand. We're seeing this all across the board. So many different companies in so many different industries are looking to cut their costs. Let's have a look at what we know about the cost-cutting measures that we're seeing in ONSEMI right now. So, ONSEMI is an American chip maker. They've announced a restructuring plan that will result in approximately 2,400 job cuts across all business divisions globally this year. So the thing that I want to point out there is that is a lot of jobs. That is a lot of jobs, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of change. And that is how it is always worded in these articles, right? It's a restructuring plan. But these companies are aware, and so are a lot of investors, so are a lot of people who are aware of current market conditions. In today's climate, these companies simply need to save money. They're not making the sales and profits that they once were, and costs need to be cut back. It's unfortunate, but one of the first things to go is often going to be staff. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. So what we're seeing that in a filing, the company has said that its restructuring plan, approved by management, includes cost-cutting measures intended to adjust ONSEMI's expenses in response to current business conditions, whilst maintaining progress towards its long-term financial goals. Again, worded in a very specific way there. The company has initiated a plan and expects to incur charges of between 50 and 60 million related to the layoffs. Once completed, the layoffs are projected to generate an annual saving of between $105 and $115 million. So you can kind of see why they're doing this, right? Unfortunately, employing staff is a very, very expensive thing to do. A lot of companies are obviously aware of this, and therefore when the time comes, well, they are going to cut those members. As of the 31st of December 2024, ONSEMI actually employed around 26,400 full-time workers and around 90 part-time and temporary staff across 33 countries, a very large company here. And these job cuts actually represent a reduction of around 9% of the entire workforce as they scale back their manufacturing operations, right? That's nearly 10% of the entire workforce being removed in one set of job cuts. And how many companies are we seeing announcing cuts of this magnitude, right? How many large global companies, household name brands, are laying off tens of thousands of staff? We're seeing this all across the sectors, all across the broad economy at the minute. These jobs, the demand simply is not there. The people want the jobs, but the companies do not want to employ people. They're either not hiring or in a lot of cases actually laying a lot of people off. And again, this comes after essentially what we're seeing as fairly weak financial information. ONSEMI has been impacted by a slowdown in the automotive sector, driven by rising vehicle prices that have reduced customer demand. The automotive market accounts for approximately half of the company's revenue, according to the Wall Street Journal. The company reported a 15% decline in the fourth quarter of 2024's revenue, which fell to $1.72 billion. This is significant, and this is obviously why they are looking to make those cutbacks. Despite the restructuring, the CEO has stated that the research and development would not be affected. Instead, the company is planning to pause certain expansion projects. We're reducing projects that don't impact the fundamentals of the company, don't impact the future of the company, the CEO said. In June 2024, they announced plans to save up to $2 billion to establish a silicon carbide semiconductor manufacturing facility in the Czech Republic. The investment aims to meet the growing semiconductor demands fueled by essentially renewable energy, electrification, and AI. So, a lot to discuss there and a lot to unpack, but the overarching point here is a lot of people are unfortunately going to lose their jobs. So many companies cutting back so much staff, and again, what you'll notice in a lot of these videos, yeah, we do sometimes look at some of the smaller companies or some of the companies where it's the lower end jobs going, but in a lot of these markets and a lot of these industries, it's actually the big industries which are cutting back staff. Tech sector is cutting back staff, automotive is cutting back staff, banking is cutting back staff. A lot of these big industries cutting a large amount of their workforce. And unfortunately, this is just another name to add to that list. It's unfortunate, guys, but this is the current market. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching until the end.